Chiku from Chiku Study Corner. Today we'll be dealing with the Chapter 4 of Physics Class 12 CBSE. The chapter is Moving Charges and Magnetism. That's the chapter that comes under magnetism. So, let's see. In the previous sessions, we dealt with some of the equations. Biot-Savart's law, we dealt with Ampere's circular law, equations, etc. for time period, frequency, radius, etc. So now we'll be dealing with some of the theory and also we discuss some questions. So over here we'll be discussing one value based question and also about the rest of the theory. If you want more questions, please let me know in the comment box below. So let's get started. So over here, first thing that I have to teach you today is force on a current carrying conductor in a magnetic field. So force on a current carrying conductor in a uniform magnetic field. It is given by the equation F is equal to I into L cross B. So I is the current. L is a quantity that is equal to the length of the conductor. Quantity equal to the length of the conductor. And B is a magnetic field. Okay, this is the equation. F is equal to I into L cross B. So what is this force experienced by a conductor in a uniform magnetic field? So with this equation, we have to learn about two parallel conductors, force experienced by two parallel conductors. Now, the first application is for parallel conductors. And for parallel conductors, what is that? The angle between them is what? 0 degree. And this is I2, this is I1, this is P, Q, and it is at a distance A. And the force experienced by Q due to P is termed as F1 and this is F2. Magnetic field produced by P is B1 and Q is B2. This is how you usually take. Now let's write the equation. F is equal to mu 0 to I1 I2 divided by 4 pi r into length. This is our equation. So F is equal to mu 0 into 2 into I1 I2 divided by 4 pi r into L. What all were they? F is the total force, mu 0 by 4 pi is the constant, I1 is the current flowing through P, I2 is the current flowing through Q, L is the distance or the length of these conductors. What is the length? This is infinitely long conductors. And then what R is the distance between them. That is A or R. Okay. So this is our equation. I hope this equation is clear. Now let's see the applications of torque on this conductors. So let's see that. Torque. Torque experienced by what? A current carrying circular coil. Okay, is what we are going to learn right now. So torque is represented as τ. Let's see the equation. So τ is equal to, there is an equation that we have to by heart. So let's write the τ. τ is equal to actually m into b. Or for us, for a circular coil, what is that? τ is equal to NIAB sin theta. Okay, so τ, this is our equation. Important, you have to learn it by heart. So τ is equal to NIAB sin theta. So that is the equation for torque on a circular current carrying conductor or circular coil which carries current. So what is sin theta? Sin theta is the angle between what? The n vector and the direction of magnetic field. Actually, if you equate these equations, what can you find out? You know that m is equal to what? NIA. Am I right? Did you find that? So, what is theta? Theta is the angle between the this vector, the normal and the direction of magnetic field. This quantity m is known as the magnetic dipole moment. So what is this? That is the m. And if NIA is its equation, then what would be its dimension? N is a number, it's a quantity. Leave that. What is I into A? That is ampere meter square. So this is the what dimensional formula of the magnetic dipole moment. So that is to talk about the torque of circular current carrying coil. So now let's discuss some of the questions. So the first question is a value based question that we have to discuss. So let's hear the question and then do the problem.
Question 1. Alka and her sister were watching a movie in which the phenomenon of aurora borealis was shown. Alka could not believe her eyes that such a colorful display like that one during Commonwealth game could be created by the nature. She went to the library but could not find the right book. So she consulted her teacher who guided her. Hence, Alka understood that during a solar flare, a large number of electrons and protons are ejected from the sun. Some of these get trapped in the Earth's magnetic field and move in a helical path along the field lines. As the density of the field lines increases near the poles, these particles collide with the atoms and molecules of the atmosphere, emitting green and pink light. Alka shared this knowledge with her class when they studied the chapter of moving charges and magnetic fields. Read the above passage and answer the following question. What values did Alka have? Second question. What is the radius of the path of an electron moving at a speed of 3 into 10 raised to 7 meter per second in a magnetic field of 6 Gauss perpendicular to it? What is its frequency? Calculate its energy in kilo electron volt.
So, what would be the quality that she has? The first quality that we can write is she is diligent. Am I right? And also, there are so many qualities. She has the nature of curiosity, and there are a lot more. You can write anything. She has a mind of appreciation, a mind to appreciate others, analytical knowledge, etc. You can write any of them. You don't have to write all. Maybe if you write all also it's okay. So she's diligent, she's analytical skills, she's a curious person, she has a mind to appreciate others also. So this was the first question. This is just a question that can give you marks actually. If you write any quality, she's caring, she's loving, many questions we write loving, caring, she's compassionate, she knows to do problems, she knows how to analyze things, she knows to appreciate, etc. are small key characteristics, positive characteristics. So now let's do the problem. So let's write. Using the equation, for this one we use the equation what? mv square divided by r is equal to qvb. And what is r? Where did we learn this? When we were learning the equations. So when we equated this, okay? And r, what is our equation for r? This gets cancelled, this gets cancelled. So what will be our equation? R is equal to mv divided by qb. Let's substitute this equation. We have these values given. So let's write the substitution. What is the value of m? 9 into 10 raised to minus 31 into 3 into 10 raised to 7. That is m into b. Now q into b is our next. So 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 into 6 into 10 raised to minus 14. Am I right? Sorry, 10 raised to minus 4 is our digit given in the question. So now let's solve this. So after solving, how will you write? That is, I've solved it and kept it 28.125 centimeters. Okay, that is our radius. So now let's do the further calculations. Next is frequency. So let's write about frequency. I hope this calculation is clear to you. It's just substitution. So that's it. So frequency is equal to V divided by 2 pi r. Am I right? So the answer for this question is given as 2 into 10 raised to 6 seconds. Am I right? The frequency is its second inverse. Why? Frequency is equal to 1 by time period. Time period is second, and therefore 1 by second is represented as second inverse. So what is this? Frequency is equal to 2 into 10 raised to minus 6 hertz. Am I right? It's second inverse or hertz. Okay. Now what we have to calculate? Let's see what is that. We have to calculate energy. So let's see. Energy. What energy is that? That is kinetic energy. What is the equation? Half mv square. So let's write. So let's substitute. What is this? That is half into 9 into 10 raised to 31. And what would be our v square? That is 3 into 10 raised to 7 whole raised to 2. No, that is half into 9 into 10 raised to minus 31 into 9 into 10 raised to 14. Am I right? Let's solve this equation. When you solve this equation, you get 40.5 into 10 raised to minus 17 joules. That is our answer. So we have found out the kinetic energy. Am I right? Or else you can write it as 2.5 keV. So this is the answer for the first question. So now let's see the second question.
So, question number 2. A coil of n turns and radius r carries a current I. It is unwound and rewound to make a square coil of side A having same number of turns n. Keeping the current I same, find the ratio of the magnetic moments of the square coil and the ratio between the magnetic moment of the circular coil.
For this question, 2 pi r is equal to 4a. It's given. Therefore, what can you conclude? This is for a circle and this is for a square. From here you can write a is equal to what? That is pi r divided by 2. Am I right? So, now what we have to find out is the ratio between the magnetic moment, the magnetic dipole moment of the square is to circle ratio. So, let's write ms is to mc. That is equal to NIAS divided by NIAC. What is the area for our square? That is NIA. So that is A is small a square divided by NI into pi r square. Am I right? We know what is the answer for A. We wrote pi r divided by 2. So let's write it over here. That is Ni into pi r divided by 2. This entity is again divided by what? Our Nia value. That is Ni into pi r square. So what will we do? Divided by Ni pi r square. Am I right? So how will you divide this entity? It is into 1 by. So this will get cancelled. This would get cancelled. Then what? This would get cancelled. This would get cancelled. This and this would get cancelled, this would get cancelled. So what would be the ratio? The ratio between them is, we'll write the ratio. That is pi is to 4. So ms is to mc is equal to pi is to 4. So this is our answer. So now let's get back to our theory. So circular loop as a magnetic dipole. Okay? Let's see. We said if you take a loop, let's take a loop. A loop is like this. So it has both sides. In the top portion, if the loop is like this and the current is flowing from this direction to this direction, when you look from the top, what is happening? The current is moving in anti-clockwise direction. So what would be the polarity? Polarity would be a north pole. Okay, and if you look from the under, what would be the direction in which current is flowing? It would be like this, and hence it would be south pole. Now can you see that a circular coil, when looked from top, is north pole and looked from bottom is south pole? Am I right? Does this act as a magnetic dipole? Yes. So now let's see the equations for this theory. So let's see. We know magnetic dipole moment M is equal to NIA. N is a number of turns, it's an entity. So we are just taking only a circular loop. So N is not required. It is I into A. So let's write M can be equated as I into pi 2 pi r. Am I right? Because that is what the area. Sorry, I into pi r square. Okay, the area is what we are writing, not the circumference. So what M is equal to I into pi r square. So now let's write the magnetic field. What is the equation for magnetic field? So let's see what is that. So we know B is equal to mu 0 I r square divided by 2 into x square plus r square the whole raised to 3 by 2. So let's take what our r is much lesser than x, or our x is much greater than our r. So for a short dipole, what would be the equation? Mu 0 I r square divided by 2x cube. Am I right? When this r is now there, this would get cancelled, this would get cancelled, and it will become an x cube. So this is that equation. Now we talk about magnetic dipole moment. What is magnetic dipole moment as discussed just earlier? What is that? M is equal to I pi r square. So if you have to have an entity of M, that is the magnetic dipole moment, what should be added? Or what should be multiplied to this? That is pi. So let's multiply both sides divided by pi. So what would be our equation? Our final equation is B is equal to mu 0 M divided by 2 pi x cube. This is our equation for magnetic, a circular coil as a magnetic dipole. So now we discuss about this. Let's see about the applications of this, that is moving coil galvanometer. So let's discuss what's moving coil galvanometer. Moving coil galvanometer. So what is a galvanometer? Let's see what's a galvanometer. Have we learned about galvanometer somewhere? What is its purpose? To see whether the current is flowing, the intensity of current. So let's see. It is a device used to detect currents in an electric circuit. Didn't we learn about the galvanometer when we learned about the circuits in our lower classes? Didn't we learn when we were learning chemistry? Or didn't we learn under the Wheatstone's bridge there was a galvanometer across which shows zero deflection. So that is what is a galvanometer. So to talk about moving coil galvanometer, it works on the principle of what a circular coil placed in a uniform magnetic field. Inside that's what the intensity of magnetic field depends on what current. So that is what is moving coil galvanometer's principle, working principle. So we learn about moving coil galvanometer and how to convert a galvanometer into an ammeter, voltmeter, etc. in the next session. I hope you might have understood it and liked it. If you've understood it and liked it, give my video a huge thumbs up, and also subscribe to my channel if you're new to it, and share my videos with your other friends. So see you on the next video. Till then, bye bye.